genuinely thought I was dying. The panic attack faded after an hour, so I thought it was a weird one-off. If it was just a blip, I didn't need to freak out about it. But it happened again the next morning, and then the morning after that, and the morning after that. Soon, the panic attacks started to strike randomly throughout the day, too. My life became divided into the time before that first morning panic attack and after. Before, when I would get anxiety, I visualized the fretful feelings as water rising to the halfway mark in a glass. As I calmed down, the glass slowly drained of anxiety until it was empty. After my morning attacks began, I visualized the anxiety as water filling the glass until it overflowed, poured down the sides, and flooded the room. There was no off switch for it. It just kept flowing. I would drag myself through the workday and then collapse into the couch, too tired to do anything but zone out in front of the television or scroll on my phone. On a good night, I'd crawl into bed at 10:30 p.m. and wake up 11 hours later at 9:30 a.m. with a jolt of panic. I lost whole weekends in bed, finding it impossible to do anything else. My boyfriend and I were at the critical stage in the relationship of looking at each other and wondering, are you the one? Both of us were beginning to realize that the answer was probably no. Our relationship hadn't been perfect for a while, but it must have been shocking for him to find his formerly upbeat girlfriend incapacitated by anxiety, lying on the couch and sobbing for hours a day. Not an exaggeration. Deep down, I suspected that something was seriously wrong with me on a physiological level. Why else would these attacks keep happening? It didn't make sense unless something was really wrong. But when I talked to my friends and parents about what I was going through, I got the kind of advice I might have given to a friend in my situation. It was the same advice I gave to myself. You're upset about your relationship. Things are weird with work. You need to meditate. It's only human nature to grasp for easy explanations, and I wanted to blame emotional stress for what was happening to me. I convinced myself that my slowly unraveling relationship and the lifestyle of being a content creator were the causes of my anxiety. I was working as a freelancer and doing a lot of filming at home by myself, so it made sense that I was stressed in part because of the isolation that comes with the job. I started seeing a psychologist who took my complaint at face value. She suggested that the tightening of my throat during the panic attacks was due to repression. You feel literally choked up, like you're unable to say the things you want in your relationship and in your life, she said. It sounded like an interesting insight, and when a therapist tells you something that seems to make sense, you internalize it. So when I woke up every day feeling unable to move, I thought, I'm holding stuff in. Along with weekly therapy sessions, I was prescribed an antidepressant and Klonopin for anxiety. The psychologist didn't ask about my diet or sleep and exercise habits, though she did include occasional reminders to drink less alcohol. I took the medication and poured my heart out in the sessions, but my anxiety wasn't getting any better. In fact, it was getting worse. I went to a cardio dance class, expecting to feel better, like I usually did after intense exercise. During the class, my levels of the stress hormones cortisol and adrenaline rose, a normal physiological response, which would have been fine, except by then, my mind was so conditioned to link those responses to the beginnings of panic attacks, so guess what happened? Well, I flew into one in the middle of the class, burst into tears, and ran out of there. A few months into my health mystery, I started to get severe brain fog and dizzy spells. Not being able to think or speak clearly felt like being removed from the sharp, articulate person I had been. I remember once standing at the door of my apartment in Tribeca, trying to put my key in the lock, and the world suddenly tilted off its axis. I had to sit down.